Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga. My name is Jill and I lead most of the practices here on Love Doing Yoga, and on the other side of this camera is my husband Alan, who does the filming and editing and adds in the music. So between us we are Love Doing Yoga. Really what I bring, I suppose, is that I design the practices specifically for women who are, let's say, north of 40, because I'm one of those. And it really, when I started teaching my friends, and they're all around the same age as me, and so I've developed practices for women as we carry on through the decades. Because what yoga brings is, I like to think of it like getting a good oiling. It keeps you moving, it helps you to keep everything going and to stop the rust setting in, which can bring with it aches and pains and stiffness. So yoga really helps you to keep everything going in a really nice way. That's what it does for the body, but it does great things for the mind as well, because it just helps you to learn how to be calm, how to step back and just take some time for yourself to rejuvenate, regenerate, so that you're ready to get back out again and tackle the day-to-day issues that arise for everybody. So that's what I suppose for me yoga does for me, and what I hope I bring to my yoga practices. Love Doing Yoga is a subscription service. It's just €5 a month, so we believe it's really good value. And what you get for that is we stream 3 live practices every week. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6 o'clock, we're here on the mat streaming live to our patrons, which means that they can practice at home, but at the same time as everybody else. So it's a little bit of camaraderie. Kind of feel you're not doing this all by yourself. There's other people doing the practice at the same time. And sometimes there's a little bit of, people will put something in the chat to say hi or whatever, and I can give shout outs. So there's that. But if those times don't suit you, you also have access to those practices to do whenever you want. So they're on demand, and it's 3 new hour-long practices every week. Also, we throw in the odd extra bit, like a short practice that you might want to do, or a meditation or whatever. So there's a few little bonus things that come in there. So that's what we're about. That's what we do. And I thought you might like to have a little sample of what a practice is like. They all follow a similar format in that we start off just centering, kind of coming into the present. And then we start to build up movement, and we bring in a lot of poses and all of that type of thing. And that goes on for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And then we start to cool down, slow it all down, and eventually come to our meditation and deep relaxation at the end. So that's the format of the practices, and I'm going to do a very short version of one now, so you can feel free to grab a mat and follow along, or just watch so you get a feeling for what it's about. If you are following along, please listen to your body. Just do what feels right for you today. Everything I do is suitable really for all levels. But I will let you know if you want to try something a little bit more challenging, or if you want to just slow it down and maybe keep it at a level that suits you. So let us begin by lying down. I always like to have a block, by the way, and you can have a hardback book. That works just as good as a block. Good for sitting on. So getting yourself onto the mat and lying down, and just find yourself a comfortable position. So this can be whatever works for you. So maybe you like to have your knees bent, feet on the floor, or perhaps the soles of your feet touching and your knees falling out, or maybe you like to lie out flat, whatever works for you. And let's just begin to come into the moment. Just letting go of the busyness, starting to slow down, setting aside everything that's been going on in your life and in the world today for the next 10 minutes or so. This is just about you, connecting your mind with your body through your breath. So just begin breathing in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. Allowing the belly to fill on the inhale and to empty on the exhale. Listening to the sound of your own breath. And let's take 3 more breaths like this. And then if your legs are straight out, just bend the knees, bringing the feet onto the mat. And flutter open the eyes, roll over onto your side and come up to sitting. If you have a block or a hardback book, you may want to sit on it here. But wherever you are, if you're on a block or if you're on the mat, just think about finding your seat bones. And if you've, like me, have developed the odd bit of extra padding along the way, you can just move that out of the way to find your seat bones. And just noticing, have you got equal weight on both seat bones? Sitting up tall here, thinking about finding length in the spine, keeping the ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. As we inhale, think about finding length and space in the spine. And then as you exhale, just relaxing into that space, allowing yourself to gently fill that space. Taking 2 more breaths here. Now let's just bring the hands together into prayer, into heart center. Taking a breath here. And then allow the arms to come out to the sides. Just checking in with your shoulders here. You want to keep them nice and soft. So sometimes when we bring our hands out, our shoulders get a little bit tight. And try to keep them soft. Good. Let's take 1 more breath here. And then just raise the arms up over your head, clasping them together. Still keeping those ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. And opening out the arms again, taking a breath. And bringing them together in prayer, and this time zip them all the way down to the elbow. Just tune into your shoulders here, noticing how they're stretching behind you. As we go from here then to opening out the arms, taking a breath, and then raising the arms up over the head and taking a breath. Good, and letting the arms come down by your side. Let's just move it onto all fours. So this is what we call a tabletop pose. Open your fingers out nice and wide. Think about almost clawing into the mat with your fingers. And checking in here that your shoulders are over your wrists. Little micro bend in the elbows. Hips are over the knees. Your legs are about hip distance apart, which is a little bit more than a fist. And your feet are straight out behind you. So when you look through, you shouldn't be able to see your feet. And we've got a nice long spine, so gazing down at the mat in front of you. Good. Let's take 2 breaths here, again, thinking about lengthening through the spine. And we're going to do some what we call cat-cows. So let's start with a cat. We tilt the pelvis, drop the belly, open the chest, raise the gaze, looking forward, and moving into a cow. Let's round from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And if you're very familiar with your cat-cows, you can begin to sync it with your breath. If this is very new to you, just follow me. Don't worry about your breath. Just move very slowly between one state and the next. So you're really allowing the spine to move through its full range of motion. And coming to stillness. From here, we're going to move into a downward dog. I'm sure you've heard of downward dogs if you haven't done them before. If you have done them before, you know them well. Just curl the toes, push your hips back towards your heels, lift your knees up off the floor, and then we're going to begin to make our way upwards here. So wherever your point is, where you go, okay, that feels like enough, just stop there. Don't worry about how bent your knees are or if your heels are up off the floor, that's absolutely fine. What we want here is a nice long spine. You want those your ears in line with your arms and your hips pushing back towards the back of the mat. And then you can begin to just pedal the feet. Pedal those legs until you come to your point of stillness, wherever that may be. It might be down here, or maybe you're able to get those legs a little bit straighter and get the heels down to the ground. Whatever your body says is the right thing for you to do. Let's take 1 breath here. And then we're going to just walk those feet forward to the hands. So we end up in a nice forward fold. And again here, you can have your knees as bent as you need to here. Just work with your body. And then bend the knees if they were straight. And let's come all the way up, allowing the arms to come out by your side. And then come into prayer. So we're standing up tall. Opening the arms out so the palms are facing forward. Just have a little check with your alignment. So looking down, are your feet in a nice straight line, equal weight on both feet? Are your shoulders over your hips? Are your ears over your shoulders? And when we have the palms facing outward, just feel what that does to your chest, how it just opens out the chest. Good. And from here, raising the arms up, we're going to come into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you come down. Good. And making your way all the way down onto all fours. And all the way down onto your seat. And all the way down to sitting with your legs out. And continuing the downward journey as we come to lie out flat for a little bit of relaxation. So as you're lying here, ideally you'll have your legs out long, let the feet just flop out to the side, palms facing upwards towards the ceiling. And just begin to completely let go. Let go your hands and your arms. Let go your legs and your feet. Let go the whole front of your body and the whole back of your body. Let go the crown of your head, that point between your eyebrows, your jaws. Just let it all go. And take a moment here to connect with your breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. Just listening to the sound of your breath. And just imagine that you're walking down a beach. Notice the sounds, the smells, the heat of the sun. Find a nice place to stop here and just enjoy what's around you. And slowly start to bring yourself back into the room, just becoming aware of your environment. Begin to bring a bit of movement into your fingers and toes. Maybe have a stretch if you want to. And in your own time, bend those knees, bringing the feet onto the floor. Roll over onto your side and make your way back up to sitting. So I hope you enjoyed that whistle-stop tour of a yoga practice, and we'd be delighted if you would consider becoming a patron. Thank you very much. Namaste.